Okay, so today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm going to bring you into the Militia State Armory office here. There's my FFL, in case anybody ever wanted to see it or was curious. And this is what we're going to do. Hi, Precious. I'm going to bring you over to my desk and kind of show you some of the things that I've been working on. Okay, so welcome to my desk. Basically what I'm going to do here is just show off some of the parts I've been working on. The very first thing that we're going to be releasing would be this. How do I want to do this? As you can see, several different design iterations. These are all just small micro improvements to improve functionality. In some cases, just working out design and making things work. The new hammer spring that will be coming along with this weird hammer, which I will explain here in a minute. As just the hammers, the first item is going to be coming out. These are all just, they were heat treated and dropped in the oil. They have not been tempered or had any kind of other post-processing. They basically came out of the oil after hot heat treat and then were dunked like that. So they will not look like this. We will be using a hot bluing that is milled, whatever, rated for corrosion and everything. New upgraded process for these that'll be super exciting. Okay, and then soon after that I will also be releasing my version of the locking bar. The big improvement here is the same thing I had on my very first Gen 1 rare breed, and that is the easy close feature up on top. Instead of the current ones that have this kind of like hook shape up here that you have to step your BCG over, which, because I don't know about you guys, if you're ever in like a high stress scenario and you get a jam or something, your gun's all jammed up and you got to pop it open and pull some, like a stuck case out and then put it back together, that extra step of having to pull your charging handle is no bueno in my opinion. And so this, I think, should be a standard on everything and is a huge improvement, just having that easy close profile at the top that I figured out long ago when I first developed the torsion lock bar style locking bar. And so, new hammer coming out. This is Partisan 15L3, and then locking bar, and then other big thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be doing stuff with the safeties. So these are the classic ones right here that you're getting with your triggers. When I made the 3P MBT, it came with two different safety cams, right? You had your classic safety cam that goes safe, single, FRT, just like this one, just like that one, just like all of them that everyone produces. I really liked the 2 position where it throws that FRT first, and I was like, I want to keep this in there, and so I developed what I was calling the Light Fighters Quick Action Safety Cam, which is this. It switches everything to be like a safe FRT, then singles, quick action, right? I want that FRT up front where it makes sense, and then when I have time to take that long, slow, precision shot, I've got time to flick my safety over that 1 extra notch to the singles. So I've had a ton of positive feedback on the 200 triggers I released on this feature here. Everybody loves this safety, and so I will be doing safeties. And part of what I'm doing here is some of the parts are just going to be actual upgrade improvements. And I'm actually going to talk more about this hammer here in a second because I've upgraded multiple things on this. It's not just a hammer spring, which I will talk about the hammer spring too, but I will show that and talk about it here in a minute. But yeah, but like with the safety, we're also gonna be doing design customability for your FRT. So when it comes to the safeties, we're gonna do everything safety wise. You're gonna have the classic one in safe in 0, 90, 180. I'm also gonna do the classic in 0, 45, 90. And then I'm also going to do the new Light Fighters developed by Militia State Armory in same in a 0, 90, 180 and in a 0, 45, 90 version. So you'll have options there. And we're gonna go even further and give you 2 different options as well. You can have it in a steel cam or I'm also going to do it in an aluminum cam, so you can have lightweight or durability depending on your mission set and what you need. And so both those will be available. And then going into some of the customization things, everyone's going to be doing a classic. I know you all love the classic. I'm probably going to do a classic too, just because principle. But I will have my Light Fighters Advanced Classic. It is inspired from a classic trigger. It looks like a classic. The only difference is I have cut this front at a 45, because I don't know if you've noticed on other safety levers, when you're going to throw to that 90 position, you get jammed up right here on this corner. And this one is cut so that your finger doesn't run into a wall and get jammed, but floats up over that corner and digs in where it gives you that last little push. My hands look really red right here in the spot on camera. They're actually usually really white. Okay, side note, but yeah. And so this is why I call it the Advanced Classic, because it is the classic design, but just made better. And then probably thinking I'm gonna do this in reverse, so that instead of it having a convex, it'll have a concave inner swooping, so it'll give you more of a flat blade, and then probably do a different, just kind of like stylized design. Nothing like this. I think these are overdone, where you just have kind of like a basic lever. Not a whole lot to it. It's just pretty basic. We'll do some styling, try to make them look a little more quality and firearms fitting, and not like a toy, but like a gun designer created it. Okay, so like I was saying, I want to come back to these hammers and talk about these hammers, because this is what's coming up next, and these are super exciting. So firstly, the biggest problem in my mind with the FRTs is the hammer spring currently. I sell a lot of my hammer springs. It's right now currently probably about the only item I sell. This is the typical hammer spring you get with any 15L3 design, partisan, or rare breed. This is my hammer spring. As you can see, it's got a slightly thicker wire and more preload. I do a lot for the tempering and the post-processing. It's actually the same stainless wire, just has post-processing done to it. That's why it comes out looking gold instead of silver. And yeah, a lot of testing, a lot of proven ability. This hammer is reliable. These hammers have actually, when I first got this trigger, I do a lot of field testing, and couple mags in, using blank fire, shooting miles gear at each other, this hammer spring started giving me light primer strikes on a regular and basically died. And so I went back and I was like, okay, I make hammer springs, so let's just do this. Let's make it slightly better. And this has worked. It hasn't failed me. This is actually a good mod. But in my mind, it is, how many degrees is that? It is that far away from being unreliable. And so I'm like, you know what? The hammer spring is not the hammer spring we need. Because when you look at like a typical, let me get park over here, typical mil-spec hammer spring, what is the first thing you notice? Coils, right? Coils, 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 coils. There's more coils there. Let me introduce you to my new hammer spring, guys. This is why we have these cutouts on the side here. It's a little bit thinner, just at this bottom profile. I'm not gonna give you numbers, but it's not very much. It's just enough, so calculated, we can use a heavier wire spring and put more coils in there. It's got one extra coil from the standard to this has 3. It's actually 4 coils. That one's actually got 3, and you count from the other side, from this side, where you can see the 4, 1 to 1, it's exactly 4 coils. And if you look at the preload on it, look at that preload. Because we have a new coil in there, you get multiple things. This, when it moves through its arc, when the hammer's cocked back, the more coils you have, the less each coil has to move, right? And so you're gonna get longer life. But then you have the thicker wire and more preload. So you're gonna get a stronger, heavier, more consistent, reliable strike with your hammer on your primers. And yeah, something. I got one more point there, I can't think of it at the moment. But yeah, you're getting more stuff. which then I'm actually going to be producing this because we're doing all the customization parts. We're going to do 2 versions of this. So this is an 038 wire. This is an 036. The 038 wire with 1 extra coil, and it fills to max. Mil-spec hammer spring is an 045 wire. I have an 047 wire coming in. It'll have the same number of coils as this. I'm going to give it that preload, but what it's going to do is it's going to give you 1 hammer spring that's going to be very stiff and will set off your primers no matter what. When you just absolutely need to have a hammer that can just drive it home, then that one will be the one that's available. This one will probably be the more popular option, as it gives more preload, more power, more life expectancy, more of everything over the lesser coil design, but is still better, still has higher things, whatever. Alright, and so boom boom, I'll put out a video on that. We can talk more about the hammer spring. I've probably covered a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things I haven't covered, but that at this point I'm just going to be echoing over myself because I don't remember which parts I've covered and not covered. Okay, and then so that gets us into other features of the hammer. So that talks about the cutout here. Another big gripe I've had with the hammers is everyone has this really pointy square tip top right here, right? And when you look at the face, this drags. That little face nose, there's a tiny spot right there that drags along your BCG while you're shooting. And dragging is not good, right? You don't want parts dragging on each other. And so this one has been redesigned. Let's see if I can get it on camera here. That nose has been tipped back. I've had to do several designs on this to get this feature right. Oh, you'll have to go look at it in the ads. I'm sorry, guys. Actually, I'll show it to you on Fusion here in a second. This nose has been tipped back so that instead of it riding on a small point, when the hammer's first cocking, the BCG hits about here, it walks across the face here, and then right here at the very peak, when you're at full BCG, this last little bit is where that one just drags, and you have like a small flat about this long because the bottom of your BCG angles down and then kind of like flattens out. On that flattened out spot is where this spot just drags. Well, here with that little round, as soon as it cocks back and reaches that position, this actually walks. It rolls kind of like it walks along the bottom side of the BCG in that spot. And so you cannot pull the trigger too hard where it's going to preload, because as you pull the trigger hard, it walks. That top little bit walks and gives the BCG forward momentum, and it slams home. So this is a huge, huge, huge improvement. I've talked to tons of people about this. This has been my biggest gripe with a lot of FRTs, is that in different situations, because uppers and lowers aren't the same, right? And some of them are a little bit lower, as in like tighter tolerances. And when you get ones like that, this can drag and put a lot of preload and actually make your bolt go boom, 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 shook, 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 right? Like as you kind of start pulling into it, you can slow that bolt down. And obviously a good hardened heat treat and everything is very key to making that happen. Smooth surface here and everything, which is after processing, shakering, deburring, multiple rounds of shakering, you know, heat treats, stuff like that, all plays into your final coating and stuff like that, all plays into how good your surface is for slide. Part of this too is by reducing that round, not only am I reducing the shear angle, or not only am I like making the roll, just gave it away, I'm reducing the shear angle too. So it's more like ready to slide on each other, for lack of words at the moment. And so yeah, that gives you guys a good idea of what's coming out. There's going to be a whole slew of probably like 12 or something different design possible options coming out with the safeties, and that doesn't include the fact I'm going to be putting in a couple different safety lever options as well. So you're going to have a whole slew of customization for picking the exact safety you want. You're going to have upgraded parts that improve the reliability, improve the, well, reliability also, and the feel, and just all the things. Like, this is a huge improvement. It's small things, but when you look at a lot of the FRT parts that are out there, everybody just designs in 2D. They don't have the ability, well, I don't want to sound like a dick here. Everyone designs in 2D, and it could be better. Okay, well, let's just leave it at that. And so yeah, a couple other things coming along too. I actually have kind of forgot a lot of the stuff at this point of what I've covered. I know hammers, safeties, locking bar. Probably going to be doing some flat face trigger designs as well. And so that leaves basically the part I will not be creating is the housing or the disconnect. I'm losing all my light outside here. Hold on. 2 seconds. Does this help? No. Yes, no. Let's just go with it. You guys, it's better than dark. And so, yeah, here's some other things. This is currently on my website. This is the reliability kit for the FRT15. Or the 15L3. So this is the factory locking bar spring that came with it. It's not bad. It could be more to be desired. It's kind of weak for the job. It's not really the best custom fit. This is a large rolled edge. This underneath here is not, which I can probably give you a sneak peek. This has my spring in it right now. Come on, focus. But mine just, it looks like it fits it. It's squared up, it matches. It's just better done. It's got a little bit heavier wire to it. I don't know if I can get this right on camera. Get this the right way. But it's just better done. The edges are more trimmed in where they're supposed to be. It fits the profiling better. It doesn't squish out into the edges, and it's just balanced better for the locking bar. It's small improvements, but when you're talking long-term reliability, it's the micro things like that that really do end up making the difference. And so there will be huge improvements done to this, and I will be making the locking bar for the Partisan as well. If you've seen the Partisan locking bar, it's kind of like my original rare breed, although they went a little less spring, a little more material. There's a lot of, once you actually pull it out, there's a lot of just bulk material on the locking bar, and it's kind of an underwhelming spring as well. And so I'm going to be, like I said, bringing this style, the dual torsion, to the Partisan. And yeah, and with this, there's actually probably going to be 2 options, because there's not really any good options here for this, and so it's going to be user preference. Option 1, that'll be the slightly more expensive option, is I will have a drill and a pin that comes with the kit, so that you can chase this hole to the other side, put a pin in there, and use the full classic one. The other version will be where the spring just, because this one just, sorry, battery died. Oh, battery died. And so now I can't remember what I was just saying. I had to go run off and get a new battery for the camera and everything. But yeah, we'll be upgrading the locking bar. Oh yeah, and then the second one is going to have a spring that comes up and just rests on top. It's not the best option, but that's why it'll be the lesser expensive of the two, and the more expensive will come with a pin and drill so that you can chase it. I'm nervous about it because I don't know everyone's ability to chase that, and I feel like that's the one I want to do, but in case some people don't have the tools and ability but want an upgraded spring, it's kind of the option I have at the moment as far as I've thought and put into it, because I've been working on a lot of the other stuff as well. Final thoughts on things is the hammers are coming out first, and then I'll probably be doing just some of the safety levers. A big issue with the safety cams at the moment is actually material. I need 3/8 material, but I need 3/8 undersize, and for whatever reason I cannot find a good material supplier that can get me 3/8 undersize. I got someone local that I'm supposed to be calling here this next week as soon as it turns Monday, and I'm gonna be asking them on that because I need some point like 372, 373, but it always comes in 375.5 or all the way up to 37, 377, sorry, that extra 7 threw me off for a second. But yeah, it goes all up from like 375.5 to like 377. And like I said, I need it undersized, and it just seems to be a weird one that I don't know where everyone gets their stuff from. Although with that, I actually have been working on, as I make these, it's going to be strong side solid as a single cam, so you can get just ones, and then the only option for if you want the ambies will be with only the singles, the strong side, and the weak side is the only side that'll have a screw in it. So it will be solid connected all the way through, done on the 4th axis. And then, yeah, so I actually potentially don't even need the material there. And those might just be another couple weeks behind because I have worked on, well here, I'm gonna take it out to the shop. There it is, Militia Armory shop in all of its glory. 20 by 40 pole barn. Okay, step in here. Got my nice locker, mini lathe, toolboxes, big lathe, CNC lathe, nice heater, drill press, table I made. Here's my heat treat station, my other back corner stand. But show you this. So for my 4th axis, I've been working out some gang plate tooling so that on my 4th axis, let me get this turned around so you can see things. Okay, and so on the 4th axis, not in the machine at the moment because I take it out between runs, because the last one I had, it got water down through this backside and ended up rusting the inside of the motor or whatever, and so I had to replace some things. But yeah, so you can see that block I was just making is here, so I can mount jaws like this, and then I need to remake those jaws is where my hold up there is, because last time this is like a solid safety, single side solid safety. This is a tool just so I can load it in the thing and use it in the future for checking indication and making sure everything is running zeroed and smooth on the 4th axis to cut the camming. And then I can take this over to other jaws and put the whatchamacallit on there, like just the lever design. And yeah, and so this one, that's short, it's not safety cam length because it's designed to be short because this is going to be a tool for things, but in general, that is still the right material, whatever, just cut shorter. This is, you know what I'm saying. Like this is going to be a longer safety barrel, whatever, the cam. But yeah, but it'll still, it's basically kind of how your Oppo One stock is going to come out looking for the mill. And then yeah, I guess here in a minute, next video coming up probably later today is I'm going to go ahead and manufacture an extra hammer for you guys here and pull out some of the hammer stock and machine an extra hammer for you and show you how that looks, because at the moment everything's just kind of shut down for doing things I've been in prototyping, so I've just been running one at a time, but nothing here, and some custom jaws over there. Hard to see because I don't have lights. This is a rough video, and you guys are just along for the ride, because I got to get some advertising out and show some of my things, what I'm working on and doing, before I just completely get overshadowed and taken out by loud advertising. Okay, so that basically so that basically sums it up, shows you kind of what we're looking at as far as time frame goes on things. The hammers I've been doing a lot of testing on. That's where a lot of my work has been, and so those are basically ready, coming out here probably in about a week. I've got all the design work done, but I don't have any parts manufactured. I pulled this from stock that I had to face down the edges and everything just to bring it to the stock material size I need. And then a lot of that size has been ordered out on bars. It was supposed to come last Friday, and I was going to be working on it all this weekend, but instead it didn't show up. So I'm here pushing advertising, I guess, you know, right? Like just letting people know what I'm doing, what I'm working on, and letting you guys get excited and showing you around, you know, giving you a little bit of inside, because I never really, I'm really bad at my advertising, and you all know that. Been here from the beginning, and I don't really have a huge following. Personal gripes. I should probably cut this part out. But yeah, and so that's a good show around of what I've been working on, what I'm doing. I'll show you some other things later, like my Miata over there, turboed custom. I've had it for a long time, and last several years it's just been sitting there collecting dust, so I cry inside when I see it anymore. I'll give you a peek of it because we're talking about it. GT 2871 turbo. I did the impossible, 2.5 inch piping all the way down and around. I made all this here. This is a nice, it's all hard clamped. No soft clamping that'll blow out. When I pull this apart, there's like a flange in here. There's 2 flanges come together with 4 different O-rings, and this clamps down over all of it and mushes it together so it can't go nowhere. And yeah, nice, fully custom 2.5 inch exhaust off the backside, 3 inch tip. I'll give you guys a look at that. And this is way off topic. There it is, boom, fancy tip. Okay, so that's it. I just want to show you guys what I'm working on and what I've been up to. I got more videos that are going to be coming out. This is just a quick peek at kind of the things I've been working on. Like I said, I'm just repeating myself now, so have a good day, bye.